In this class, we will discuss about pollution monitoring and prevention in pulp and paper industries. Pulp and paper industry is considered as one of the most polluted industry in the world. The production process consists of two main steps. One is pulping and the other is bleaching. Pulping is the initial stage and the source of most pollutant of this industry. In this process, wood chips as raw material are treated to remove lignin and improve fiber for paper making. Next, bleaching. It is a last step of process which aims to whiten and brighten the pulp. The whole process of this industry are very energy and water intensive in terms of the freshwater utilization. The wastewaters generated from production process of this industry include high concentration of chemicals such as sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, sodium sulfite, sodium bisulfites, elemental chlorine or chlorine dioxide, calcium oxide and hydrochloric acid. The major problem of wastewater are high organic content and some toxic pollutant. The environmental problems of pulp and paper industry are not limited by the high water consumption. Wastewater generation, solid waste including sludge generation from wastewater treatment plant and air emission or other problem, and effective disposal and treatment approaches are very essential in paper and pulp production. The significant soil waste such as lime mud, lime slaker grit, green liqueur drag, boiler and furans ash, scrubber sludge, wood processing residue and wastewater treatment sludge are generated from different mill. Disposal of this solid waste cause environmental problems because of high organic content, portioning of chlorinated organics, pathogenic microorganism, ash and trace amount of heavy metal content. Next slide, waste characterization and source. Pulp and paper industry is one of the most water and energy consuming industry in the world. This industry uses the fifth largest energy consumer process. Approximately 4% of total energy is used worldwide. Also, during pulp and paper process, the important amount of waste is produced. There are three different raw materials are used in pulp industry and paper industry. They are non-wood fiber and wood material, softwood and hardwood. During paper processing, waste and wastewater are generated from both the pulp and bleaching process. Additionally, 100 million kg of toxic pollutant are released every year from these paper and pulp industries. Next slide, wastewater from pulp and paper industry. Different pulping process utilize different amount of water and all of this process are water intensive. The quality of wastewater generated from pulping and bleaching is significantly distinctive because of the process and chemical types. Approximately 200 cubic meter water are used for per ton of produced pulp and most of them are highly polluted, especially water generated from chemical pulping process. Wood preparation, pulping, pulp washing, screening, washing, bleaching, paper machine and paper operation are the most important pollution sources among various process stages. Wastewater generated from pulping stage include mostly wood debris, soluble wood materials and also some chemicals from chemical pulping process. The bleaching process wastewater has a different quality. These wastewater are not higher strength than pulping process wastewater. However, they include some toxic components. The wastewater characteristic and strength change depending upon the pulping processing. Kraft process is widely used worldwide. Approximately 60% within all pulp production includes both mechanical and chemical pulping. The wastewater generated from pulping process consists various wooden compounds such as lignin, carbohydrate and extractive, and the treatment of this wastewater by biologically is difficult. In addition to them, some toxic compounds such as resin acid, unsaturated fatty acid, diterpene alcohol, guanidine, chlorinated resin acid, and other can exist in the wastewater subjecting to the process. The most important reaction in the bleaching step is oxidation of chlorine, and the main problem about the wastewater content is chlorinated organic compounds. Next, solid and hazardous waste from pulp and paper industry. Wastewater and consequently solid waste are the main environmental problem of the pulp and paper mills because this industry has a very water intensive production process. Solid waste from pulp and paper industry are mainly treatment sludge, lime mud, lime slaker grit, green liquor drag, boiler, and furnace ash, scrubber sludge, and wood processing residual. The wastewater treatment sludge have a significant concern for the environment because of including chlorinated compound. The characteristic of all solid waste generated from pulp and paper mills are organic exception of boiler and furnace ash. The chemical nature of the solid waste are varies different upon the process type. For example, the sludge obtained from wastewater treatment plant or organic fraction which consists of wood fiber and biosludge. They also containing inorganic fraction consist clay, calcium carbonate and other material. Then drag and mud which are produced during causative process are green liquor drag consisting of non-reactive metals, insoluble material and lime mud. Ash produced from power boiler are inorganic compound and sludge producing during paper mill are color waste and fiber clay including slowly biodegradable organic such as cellulose, wood fiber and lignin. Next slide, gas emission. Air pollutant and gas emissions are the other concern about the pulp and paper industry. The most important gas emission is water vapor. Additionally, particulates, nitrogen oxide, volatile organic compounds, sulfur oxide, and total reduced sulfur compounds are produced during pulp and paper processing. For example, the chemical pulping process will produce some volatile organic compound such as terpene, alcohol, phenol, methanol, acetone, chloroform, methyl ethyl ketone, also reduced sulfur compounds and organic chlorine compound. Then bleaching process will create the volatile organic compounds such as acetone, methylene chloride, chloroform, methyl ethyl ketone, chloromethane and trichloroethane. Wastewater treatment plant will produce terpene, alcohol, phenol, methanol, acetone, chloroform and methyl ethyl ketone. Then the power boiler produce sulfur oxide, nitrous oxide, fly ash and some coarse particulates. Reduced sulfur compound and some volatile algal compound such as alcohol, terpene and phenols are produced during evaporator process. And finally, fine and coarse particulate, reduced sulfur compound and sulfur oxide are produced during recovery of urine and calcining process. Next slide, water management. During the pulp and paper production, high usage of water and energy result in large amount of waste generation like wastewater, solid waste and air emission. Different type of waste are produced from different production steps and all this waste pose important environmental problem. These problems can be solved by two approaches. One is waste minimization, second one is end of pipe treatment technologies. The waste minimization can be done by using new and best available technologies, and end of pipe treatment technology should be used before the discharge and disposal. Let us see waste minimization technology. Modern waste minimization approach is by two means. The first way is chemical recovery and recycling. This system, especially in chemical pulping process, significantly reduces pollutant and additionally economical return is another important aspect. Chemical recovery is necessary because of the basic economic viability of the kraft process. According to EPA, all kraft pulp mills worldwide use chemically recovery system. However, there is still no recovery system in some sulfide mills. Additionally, scrubber system particulate, baghouse, or electrostatic precipitates are often mill air pollution control components. The second way to minimize waste production from pulp and paper mills is the application of best available technologies according to the Integrated Pollution Prevention and Control Regulation. An effective waste minimization method reduces cost, liability, regulatory burdens of hazardous waste management. Also, the hazardous waste generation can be reduced by waste management method that including production, planning and sequencing, process adjustment and modification, raw material replacement, housekeeping waste segregation and separation, and recycling. Nowadays, the industries have developed and applied new technologies instead of conventional pulping and bleaching process. Some of these new technologies are organic salt pulping, acid pulping, biopulping, elemental chlorine free and total chlorine free bleaching, biobleaching, and extended delignification. Let us see one by one. First, organic solvent pulping. This process is more economical for small and medium scale plant for significant recovery and reuse of chemical. In this process, organic solvent like ethanol, methanol are prepared. However, this process is more energy consumer than conventional one. Second one, acid pulping. Acetic acid under the high pressure is used for treating of wood chip. The advantage of this process is the loss of acid. However, recovery is possible. Third one, biopulping. Microorganism or microbial enzyme such as xylanase, pectinase, cellulase, hemicellulase, ligninase and other combination are used in the pulping process to improve the properties of pulp. Among all process, biopulping is preferred because the process reduces chemical and energy utilization. Next, elemental chlorine free and total chlorine free bleaching. Elemental chlorine has been used instead of chlorine dioxide and hypochlorite and oxygen, ozone, caustic soda and hydrogen peroxide. They have been applied for total bleaching, total chlorine free bleaching of kraft pulp in order to reduce chlorinated organic waste. Fifth one, biobleaching. Fungal cells and their enzymes are used to pre-treatment of pulp. Last one, extended delignification. With the help of this process, an enhanced removal of lignin is achieved by extended cooking, oxygenation, ozonation, and addition of chemical catalyst. Next, end of pipe treatment technologies. Although the best approach is to minimize the waste generation from the pulp and paper mills and to recycle, the treatment applications are still necessary. In this section, up-to-date treatment technologies are given. The end of pipe treatment strategy mainly concerned with wastewater treatment. The main treatment application for wastewater generated during pulp and paper process is primary and secondary treatment. However, tertiary treatment can be an obligation in future due to possible new legislation. In primary treatment, the suspended solid such as bark particle, fiber debris, filler and coating materials and organic materials are removed from the wastewater. Then the primary clarification can also be achieved without sedimentation and flotation. Next, secondary treatment. Aerobic lagoon, activated sludge system, anaerobic treatment and sequential biological treatment are the most common biological treatment application for pulp and paper mills. The third one, tertiary treatment. It involves coagulation or precipitation. That means the addition of metal salt to generate large floccules from small particles for removing the pollutant easily from the wastewater. Next, we will see the management and disposal of solid waste. Integrated solid waste management of pulp and paper mills are through anaerobic digestion, composting, land application, thermal process such as incineration, pyrolysis, steam reforming and wet oxidation. First, anaerobic digestion. This process type is a cost-effective way due to the high energy recovery. Industrial waste which have high organic content and digestible are suitable for anaerobic digestion like paper sludge and wastewater treatment plant sludge. Second one, composting. This method is suitable for the waste and sludge, especially paper fibers and organic materials. The waste are stabilized via microorganisms with minimal carbon loss. The end product of this process, humus-like material, can be used for houseplant, greenhouse and agriculture. Third one, land application. This method has been prepared disposal method and also widely used method. Before the application, dewatering and incineration treatment are done to the waste or sludge in order to reduce volume. Fourth one, incineration. Combination of incineration with power and steam generation is one of the most applied method, especially for wastewater treatment plant sludge. However, water and ash content of most sludge cause energy deficiency. Next technology, pyrolysis. In this process, organic waste are converted to gaseous and liquid under high pressure and in the absence of oxygen. This is an alternative technology to incineration and landfill. This method is suitable for organic content, high waste such as wood, petroleum, plastic waste. However, this technology is not sufficient for pulp and paper mill waste. Sixth one, steam reforming. This technology is used for sludge treatment, is a novel combustion technology which carries out in a steam reforming reaction system. And the last one is wet oxidation. The principle of wet oxidation is that organic compound as solid or liquid form is first transferred to water where it contact with an oxidant under high temperature and pressure. During wet oxidation, waste pulped with water is carbonized and its fuel value increases to the equivalent of medium grade coal. The waste does not cause any air emission in order to combust without flame or smoke. This technology is also considered as an emerging technology like steam reforming. These are the strategies which are applied to the management and disposal of solid waste. Next slide, treatment of gas emission. Air pollution control at pulp and paper mills has been important concern, especially volatile organic compounds which are produced from pulp and bleaching step and streams are conventionally treated by physicochemical method such as absorption to activated coal fiber, absorption, thermal oxidation, catalytic oxidation and condensation. In order to remove different pollutants present in the environment, biofilter and bioscrubbers are applied. This process has three steps. The transfer of pollutant from air to liquid phase. Next, the transfer of pollutant from liquid phase to biofilm phase where microorganisms are located. And mineralization of pollutant by microorganism. These are the three processes which are involved in biofilter and bioscrubber. Let us see the conclusion. The paper demand increases every day as a result of developed population. Water and energy utilization and in particularly waste generation are becoming more important concern in every worldwide. A major goal is to decrease damage to environment by waste minimization, reuse and recycle.